Hello, this is Silver Sonic, and this is my antagonist deck profile. I really like this deck because of its ability to do all the swimming methods, besides Pendulum, and I enjoyed playing it in Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains. So let's get started with the main deck. First, we have 3 Bakari, one of the stars of the deck. It searches out your Adagnister spells and traps when it's summoned, and has the ability to change another Adagnister level to 4, which can help you with your Xyz plays. Next, we have 3 Archies. The other starter, because he searches out your level 4 lower Agnisters when he's summoned. It also has this other effect where when one of your Cyber monsters will be destroyed in battle, you can destroy it with an effect instead during the damage step, which only really works for another Agnister monster in the extra deck we'll get to later. We play 3 Donias. 2 is okay if you want to, but I prefer 3, as when he's summoned, you get to recover an Agnister monster from your graveyard, and if you use him for a Link summon, you can also retrieve a spell or trap. Then we have 2 Buries. He's like the Foolish Burial, as he can send an Agnister monster from your deck to the graveyard on summon. And if you use him for a synchro summon of a Cyberus monster, you can actually revive one of the other materials used in the summon, which can also be a bonus if you haven't used the retrieved monster's effect yet, like Archie or Bakari's effect. We have 2 Hiaras and 2 Doshins. They both share the effect where they can be so summoned if there's another Agnister on the field. Hiara also lets you tribute a Cyrus monster to add level 5 or higher Agnister from your deck and change its level to 4. And if you tribute a Link monster, you can also add a Eyes Ritual from your deck to your hand. Doshino lets you return a Cyrus Link from the graveyard to your deck, and also add the I Love Fusion spell from your deck to your hand as well. The only ritual for the deck, Water Leviathan, who when ritual summoned can return all your opponent's monsters between their attack back to their hand. It also lets you recover all your Link monsters from the graveyard to reduce one of your opponent's monsters' attack to 0. And another effect where once per battle, it can have the attack of the monster it's battling. Next, I have 1 Garcha and 1 Garicia. I know most people play 2, but I only have 1 of each so far, so I play 1 of each. Garcia is kind of the better of the 2, since you can summon this one by negating a Cyrus monster's effect, which can basically mean nothing if the Cyrus monster's effect is already negated, or use on something like the Arrival, who is unaffected by anything. It also can protect your Cyrus monster from destruction by an effect once each, and when it's sent to the graveyard, you can make one of your other monsters unaffected by your opponent's effects, which is why you usually play more than 1. As for Gachi, he can be summoned when a Link monster, so not just your own, but your opponent's, is destroyed in battle or by an effect. And he also gives all your Link monsters a Flame Wingman burn effect, meaning that when they destroy something in battle, your opponent will take damage. He also has this graveyard effect where if a Link monster yours battles, you can banish it, and both the battling monsters' points become 3,000 for either neutral destruction, unless you're something to protect them. Next, I have 3 Balance Lords. I may cut it down to 2 when the new support for the art type comes out, but for now, I feel 3 is the best because it gives you an extra normal summon for a Cyrus monster by paying 1,000. And when it's banished, you can still summon a Cyrus from your hand. And it can be banished by something like maybe Cyrus Wicked or some other effect like Gold Sarcophagus. It doesn't need to be from the field or graveyard. The final monster is 2 Flame Buffalo. When it leaves the field, you can discard a Cyrus and draw 2 cards. It's great for powering up your hand and getting rid of a Cyrus in your hand that is currently useless, or bring back from the graveyard. Now for the spell cards. The best card for the deck, Ignister Island. This card's pretty amazing as it can summon an Agnister from your hand as long as your main monster zone is empty. You can also keep doing the effect as long as each monster you use is a different attribute. So you basically get 6 special summons in one from one card. Also, if your opponent were to destroy the card and it's in the graveyard, you can actually reset it just by banishing an antagonist monster from the graveyard. One terraforming to obviously search it. Cyanide mining, we have 3 cyanide minings, which is literally the reinforcement of the army for them, just with a discard cost. We have 3 Idle Reborns, a quick play monster world for the antagonisters. While it does keep you locked into Cybers for the rest of the turn, your whole deck is literally Cybers, so it means nothing. It also has another effect where you can get back an antagonist spell trap from your graveyard or banish pile to your hand by banishing this card plus another from your hand, but you hardly use that effect anyways. Next, we have 1 Eye of Fusion and 1 Eye's Ritual. Eye Fusion can also you use for your fusion summons, but also it lets you use a link monster if the other material you're using is an Antagonistor. And Eye's Ritual lets you if you use Antagonistors for the ritual requirements, you can actually banish them from the graveyard as well. We have 1 Eye Contact. It helps you draw more cards if you have too many of your field spell in your hand. Monster Reborn is always great. 2 Dark Rule No Mores because people have a lot of interruptions and it also helps you get over any big negate boards. And lastly, 1 Twin Twister because certain back row, like there can only be one, can really kill this deck. Now for the extra deck, we play 1 Earth Golem, a Wind Pegasus Antagonistor, which is basically the other way of getting rid of back row, Cybers Quantum Dragon, another synchro, 2 Light Dragon Antagonistors, Link Gariba, who is really helpful with something like Flame Buffalo, so you can draw more, Cybers Wicked to help with your synchro plays, Splash Magician because it just gets back a monster, which helps you go into your Link 3s or even higher. Fire Phoenix Antagonistor. This is the monster that I said RTRT's effect destruction works on, because when Fire Phoenix is destroyed by an effect, it can take a monster your opponent controls with it. Transco Talker can revive basically any one of these Cybers links from the graveyard. Dark Templar is when your main combo starter, as when a Cybers is special summoned to one of his link arrows, you can actually bring back more Antagonists from the graveyard or to its other link arrows with their effects negated, which is why Gotcha works with it. Firewall Dark Fluid, and finally the 1 Link 6 currently so far, the Arrival. So guys, that's my deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you again next time. Goodbye.